in the previous lesson, we drew a complete box. If you followed along with the previous lesson and your box didn't fill all the way in, then follow along with me here. If your box did fill in, you still might want to take a look at this lesson because we'll show you how to troubleshoot some things that might happen to you later. Either way, whenever you're drawing, especially with the line tool in 3D, it can be easy to get something just a little bit off. So I'll repeat a couple things here. You can just watch. You don't have to follow along with this. L for the line tool. And I had one more edge that I needed to draw in from this corner endpoint here to this corner endpoint here. And when I did that, the top surface filled in, but this side one did not. So what happened here? Well, remember, whenever you have a closed loop, so it looks like this is a closed loop of coplanar edges, then a surface should fill in. So if that's a closed loop and a surface is not filling in, then it must not be coplanar. These edges must not all be on the same plane. Now, there are going to be times in SketchUp where you'll do something and SketchUp won't fill in a surface, but it should have. The way to double check that there's not just a quick glitch going on is to take the line tool and to trace from any corner endpoint, in this case this bottom left corner endpoint, to any corner endpoint, in this case this top corner endpoint. As soon as I click there, if it was just a little glitch, then that surface would fill in. Remember, we did that earlier in a 2D lesson where we healed the rectangle back in when we were looking at a top-down view. Same idea here in 3D. But that didn't work, so what's up? How do we troubleshoot this? Well, let's do this. Go up to your Window menu option and pick Styles. We'll get into everything about styles later, but for now, let's go directly to the Edit tab. In the Edit tab, we want to make sure that this far left option is picked for edges. So I'll click that. It's already picked for edge styles. Then down at the bottom here where it says Color and there's a drop-down menu here that says All Same, click on that and switch to By Axis. Now I'll move my Styles dialog over to the side. You'll notice that all of the edges light up, blue, green, red, and that will immediately show us which edges were drawn in which direction. For anything that's black, that tells us that these edges are not truly in the red, green, or blue direction. So this top edge here is not actually in the red direction. It's a little bit off. And this edge here is not truly in the blue direction. It's a little bit off. So this can happen when you're using the line tool in 3D. You can just be just a tiny bit off of where you should have been. So how do you fix something like this? Well, you just have to erase away the stuff that wasn't correct and redraw it in the right way. But here's another little thing. This edge here, this black edge, and this edge here, these are clearly needing to be redrawn. But they meet at an endpoint here. And wherever these two edges meet at this endpoint, any other edges that also share this endpoint are also part of the problem. In that case, I'm talking about this green edge here. So something about this endpoint in space is our main issue, and we need to erase away everything that touches this endpoint in space. So press E for the eraser tool, erase away this top edge here, erase away this edge here, but again, we also need to erase away this green edge. And then the answer is to just redraw everything back in as carefully as possible. So press L for the line tool, come down to this bottom corner endpoint, click, draw up in the blue direction. If I'm not sure I'm getting the inference I need, hover over one of the endpoints to infer its height. Then bring the cursor back over and move it up and down till I get that dotted inference shooting across. And I've got the blue inference that I'm drawing up in the blue direction. Go ahead and click there. And then continue tracing over in the red direction and click there. Now I've got that properly filled in. Then with the line tool, click and draw from endpoint to endpoint. And if I did that right now, everything will fill in. And you'll also see now all of those edges are either red, green, or blue. Now, if you followed along with this example, it might be tempting to leave these colored edges or this colored edge style on, but it'll be a bit distracting for some of the things we're going to do next. So let's go back over into your Styles dialog. If for any reason you closed this, Remember, you can find this dialog and many others under Window, and there's Styles, so you can click on it to open it again. And then in your Styles dialog, in the Edit tab, on the far left box for Edge Settings, under the Color, you want to click the drop-down menu and switch it from Bi-axis back to All Same. Then you can go ahead and minimize by clicking on the word Styles. That'll minimize this. And if you click and drag it, if you've already got one open, like I've got my entity info open over here, you can drag it and it'll dock itself or snap to the bottom there, making it easier to keep that stuff organized off to the right.